Okay, so music. Music is a form of art, one of the most important, in fact, because music is the universal language. It it may change, but it changes everywhere. Anyone can communicate through music with emotion, feelings, ideas you want to express, and it has been with us since, well, probably since we were civilized or we coexisted with another humans, because the first type of music was just physical sounds we made with simple objects such as sticks and stones, or even our own bodies when we clap our hands or we do another thing like the cultures that influenced the music the most were on the beginning of the human history were the Greeks and the Romans. Um, but after the Roman Empire fell, we entered on something we can call the Dark Ages, a period where almost where the warfare was something that the constant, the safety of the people was not guaranteed, and the urban life had practically disappeared. It is then when the Christian Church enters the panorama and starts to dominate Europe, being making and sending the Holy Crusades, based more specifically to the east of Europe. They started to establish different basement settlements, universities, or different types of places dedicated to the art, music, or literature, though they were more based on the Christian culture, with God and praising Him. What another period that influenced the music was the Renaissance, which the different types of art being redefined, experimenting is with some composers that clearly changed how the music was made. Were like Josquin Desprez or Giovanni da Palestrina, as well as Guido d'Arezzo, created a very important way of teaching music, which is the solfeo. It is nowadays common use for teaching the music, whether it's to children or more grown up person. The Baroque age also was part and a very important part of this period. Then we start with something called the classical period, which happened between 1750 and 1820, where again the art was redefined. Vienna, as the capital of Austria, was basically the musical center of Europe, and it was even referred to the music as Viennese style. From all around the world, composers came to Vienna to learn the different techniques they were developing, and created the standard of the music of those times or ages. Then the Romanticism was an important part too. Happened between the 19th century and the 20th century. Different composers were part of this period, and yeah. But it wasn't until the beginning of the 20th century that the music started to take another focus, making it available for everyone, trying different genres combination and making it a little bit more simple. that than it was on those than it was before. Instead of making anthems for countries or creating symphonies like from Beethoven, uh, artists started to came with being part of the most important Elvis, the Beatles, and nowadays music is what we have, a big industry which is still one of the most more important cultural influences we have, and there are some other things we can analyze about the music. We're going to be discussing them.
Focus in one specific behavioral change. This means that if the author is saying that he's going to be happy, all the song need to keep saying and developing the idea of being happy. In music, there are a lot of types of subliminal message with different uses. For example, you can create your own song with a subliminal message, talking about how you can be more positive in your life. These type of songs are very personal and can help you to achieve your goals. But let's be honest, we are here to talk about something more interesting, like the pop culture. In pop culture, we can say that in the majority, for not saying all the songs, are with the subliminal message are associated to conspiracy by the fans. They say that if you can read between lines, the lyrics are referring to something the author is living or lived. Thanks, partner, and hello everyone. My name is Ariadna Maria Tamirano, and today I'm here to talk about the subliminal message in music. So we can start talking about this topic. I have to ask you first if you really know that music can affect the way you develop in society. Because it can, and probably some of you already knew it, since this is a common knowledge. Because every people know that happened, but a few people know how does it happen and why does it happen. And today I'm here to spread out this knowledge. But first of all, we need to understand the meaning of subliminal message. For example, dictionary.com say that it's an adjective used in psychology to refer to being stimuli insufficient intense to produce a discrete sensation, but designed to be intense enough to influence the mental process and the behavior of some individual. In music, we can say that is when the author records one message and masks it with another sound. Let's be more specific. And how does it work? This works because the author focus in one specific behavioral change. This means that if the author is saying that he's going to be honest, most of the conspiracy thing in subliminal message affects more to singers or bands that the lyrics cause controversy. For example, the Beatles are the most famous in these fields because they started the tendency of hiding message in their Rubber Soul album in 1965. Their fans used their lyrics to create urban legends. Another aspect that subliminal message had to deal with are accusations of demoniac backmasking. This theory was made famous by one scene in the film The Exorcist. These examples that I had told you are only the most iconic essence of the subliminal message. The only truth in subliminal message is that they are a message that can introduce us a new way of think or feel by listening music. This is all, and thanks for watching. Goodbye.
Well, I'm going to talk about how the music videos and the song and other factors affect the way we think or even our way to see the world. A good dream can change life, cannot it? Exposure to the right sounds and music can help us develop our brain's capacities. With all that, we imply greater memory capacity, attention and concentration, very math skills, language skills, and a good problem-solving skills. Some types of music stimulate creativity and imagination. Other helps to establish healthy interpersonal relationships and to integrate society and its environment. And some more linked to dance also provide better physical condition and sometimes the support therapeutic process. For example, classical music. Listen to it at least half an hour a day provides the brain with a better environment to develop ideas, establish neutral connections that at the end of the day will help us to be alert and focus better and optimize learning process. May you have thought about the song, the accompanying song in the movies, suits you immediately. However, you intuit that the song had, and with all of this together, you can at least showing the next time feel some empathy with the person that lost someone. Another song I can use as an example is Cancer. This one is from the same band, My Chemical Romance. This is a song that after listening to it, change totally your mind and way to see the things. When they wrote this song, they just thought, hey, nobody have ever cried in a song about how people with cancer feel. So that's what about the song is. When you first listen to it, you may think, oh, it's a good song, I like it. But then you read the lyrics and you realize that this song is about a patient who's dying of cancer, and it is told from his perspective. The patient in the song is in terrible pain, but his primary concern is how much it hurts to leave behind his loved ones. The lyrics describe symptoms that are all result from the chemotherapy treatment, such as hair loss, chapped lips, and grossness. And this is when you think that maybe this song is not referring just to cancer as a disease. It can also be depression or grief or anything else that can consume your entire life. So you intuit that the song, had it been heard only on audio, would not have caught your attention too much. So a study realized by the University of London, it seems to rectify this intuition. The video clips, the images that accompany it in song, influence our perception of the music video, which also explains why the singers were so much at this end. It may also be the images may overshadow the audio. For example, we have the new video of BTS, which is a South Korean boy band. The new song Idol. The video is a very colorful video and also have a big mix of culture. They mix the Korean and the African culture and in the video, so that's why that it overshadows all the song, and you just want to focus on the colorful video, the colorful outfits, the dance. Other video that I can choose as a great example is Helena by My Chemical Romance, which is a rock band well known for its meaningful and deep lyrics. In the Helena both song and video, the show was a funeral where we can understand that it's from the loved one of the vocalist. The song gives you the message of how it feels to lose someone that is important to you, that can consume your entire life. So it made me think, there are people suffering because they couldn't get those shoes that they wanted to buy, and then you have this person who is in real suffering because he's going through something really hard, and that's why In conclusion, all the music we listen to can have a special message for us, plus the music video sometimes can help you to understand the message.
How music industry has influenced the way music is made, especially for teenagers. Well, as we know, music haven't always been this way, and we can see it in centuries, like 3 centuries ago, 2 centuries ago, when is what we called classic music. And as we know, it wasn't commercial or anything. It was actually special for royalty or high society people. But in today's world, we found something interesting. Music is an art, of course, but now we are seeing an art being used as a product for an entire industry. And it is not only for music, it's for another type of art like painting. And well, what does the music industry do so teenagers can be influenced by their music? So this can be seen also from years ago in the last century. For example, a band called the Beatles. Since then, music started to be the big industry we know today. And actually, how do they do that? They can be two ways: or creating a trending, or following one. But specifically, how is creating a trending or following one useful for teenagers? Well, due to the major population in places where the industry music works are major, the teenagers or young adults population, it's very useful to know which trends are those. And knowing now that we have internet and in another places to publish and start trendings, they can be more accurate in the way to make this music, because now it's possible to understand, and also they have special people for that. So this is one thing: watch what trend and if you can follow it. Or another part, in base of that knowledge, create a new trending that will be in the first place catchy. The teenager have to be interested, so it must be based obviously in what they like. Another way music industry can influence teenagers is by the music itself, that as we see have a lot of rhythm. Why is this? In previous centuries there wasn't such thing. Well, this is because music industry have developed new methods and have found very ways or formulas to make music catchy. Specifically, you need rhythm, meaning rhythm because it has very much to have something to do with psychology. We are more easily attracted to rhythm or beats in music and melodies, and that's a fact actually. So that's one thing, and the other is also the music videos. The music videos, as we can see, have evolved in a similar way. They become more colorful with a sheen of colors, attractive, bright, and it's very important. The artists are a factor also. Today's world needs artists that are attractive and have a regular voice, you know. Standards in some points have lowered and in others have rise. Before, It didn't matter that the artists were, well, what we would call not attractive, but voice was the thing everyone wanted because voice was so special. Today it's not. Why? Because there are instruments like autotune, and another softwares to edit voice, and just stay with the look. So there is our formula.